How's it going, everyone? Nathan coming at you with their Pokemon Showdown Live. Hope you're all good. I have been enjoying the hell out of my holiday break lately. I don't know about you all. I've got a belly full of my mother's cooking. I got a can of cheap beer here. I figured why not before I crash from all of this taking effects down here. Let's get a quick Showdown Live out. As I said, I love this metagame right now. I'm having a ton of fun with it. That should not be happening right now. Let's fix this. Sure. Oh, I'm going to have to edit this. Shit, one sec. There we go. We're back. Anyways, I figured before I crash from all the excellent baking from my family and the cheap beer and all that stuff, let's get going with this metagame, which I've been having such a fun time with. This team is Priority Shipping, courtesy of Kirino from the Smogon forums. Really fun, basic team if you want to learn the metagame, as I am right now, of course. Takes advantage, as I point out right here, of bulky breakers who can just hit really freaking hard after they boost, like Outrage from Dragonite, or Close Combat and Meteor Mash from Lucario. Of course, you can't be forgetting the Play Rep and Waterfall from Azumarill. But despite being slow, they can still totally sweep teams that are faster than like a Gengar or whatever, thanks to their priority. So it's a really fun little team here. Should be good for where we are. Still pretty low on the ladder. We got 2 Sash sort of pseudo leads. Breloom's it's less of a lead and more so just a guaranteed means of getting off the spore. And then it becomes a question of, do you Swords Dance on a wall swapping in on you? Do you Bullet Seed? Whatever. I automatically notice a Gengar who's going to be a bit of a trouble for our team. The best method we have to beat it is swapping into a Scizor who's 2-hit KO'd by Bullet Punch, then trying to do lots of damage to them with our Life Orb Bullet Punch of our own. No, we take damage from the Shadow Ball. Apologies. Bit of a problem here. Rotom is actually pretty nasty for us too. So I'm actually going to lead Breloom, because if we can get one of those 2 matchups and send them to Spore, to sleep with the Spore, that'd be great. We are not going to be lucky in that sense though. So let's go to... I might just Mach Punch so I can break their Sash. So I can go to Infernape afterwards. I'm not sure what they'll do. It's hard to imagine their Toxic Ball if they're leading their Breloom. Their team looks pretty similar to ours, actually. A lot of priority with these 3 offensive attackers. I don't even know if they have a Rock Setter at this stage right now. So again, a similar team to ours. Something to keep an eye out on. Yeah, they're taking the time thinking about it. So I imagine it's probably a very similar set to our own Breloom right now. That's why if I don't want to swap it to a Breloom right away, sorry, to an Infernape right away, they make it stupid and click Spore when they shouldn't be. I want to get this Mach Punch off first, break the Sash if it is there. They might not have it. I might look like an idiot for doing this, but, you know, better safe than sorry. Then I can go to my Infernape safely, and maybe I would threaten, I put up Rock there and try to force a swap, but I would probably check the Overheat. You know, it's, until I've got a good idea on my opponent. Oh, wow. Really glad I clicked it then. And they are Toxic Orb, Focus Punch, and they totally surprised my expectations there by going for that absolutely wild play and then forfeiting immediately when it doesn't pan out. So, okay. If they're that afraid of us, like, they could have easily gone to a Gengar, like, because we had nothing for Gengar besides Spore, I guess. But anyways, we come against a really interesting team here. Breloom is going to pop off, like, if we get stuff going. Not much against you or you, of course. Even then, a +1 Bullet Seed is nasty, but we can just take apart all these other mons if we have our Swords Dance up. Also, Scizor has got some interesting matchups here. U-turn, 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 Bullet Punch, Dragonite, less so. I might send that guy out a little bit early. And Burnape also, I don't know if I care about rocks so much. We see 3 resists here and 3 normal mons to it, so don't love that as much. Azumarill, of course, has got a good matchup too. I think I might lead out with, if I'm expecting anybody, it's one of these 3 in the, actually, I don't know, it could be one of these ones too. So I was gonna say expecting one of these 3 sort of bulky pivot types as a lead, but Cresselia doesn't make a ton of sense. They could have some sort of wild set on slacking lead with that. So I don't know. Regardless, I don't know what their lead is in short, so I'm gonna try to briefly go through it right now. Breloom can Spore, could get flinched by a Zen Headbutt. It's not terribly likely, but it is a risk. I think if we saw you as a lead, though, we get a free Spore against your rocks. Free Spore, free Spore, free Spore. That's why Breloom's such a good lead. Stuff like that. You have Sturdy, but we could take you down to the Sturdy with Close Combat. You do not have Sturdy of Solid Rock. I always assume you do, but I don't think we'd even get you down to that thanks to your Solid Rock defending. You'd only be 1 times effective, or 1 times super effective with Close Combat. Can't word so good. It's the lemon loaf. It's taking its toll. Infernape would be an excellent lead versus you. Would be mediocre here, but probably get up rocks and go for a U-turn afterwards. Same goes for you. Same goes for you. So I think I actually really like Infernape unless we run into the Rhyperior. Be a bit of a bummer if we run into Rhyperior. I might swap out to Breloom if that was the case, who resists both moves here. Both stabs rather, rock and ground. Don't want to make my opponent wait too long here. Feel bad. Azumarill's okay. I don't love it versus these 2. Certainly not against Slowbro. Lucario, not so much, especially with the likely Jirachi lead. Dragonites. I don't know what you would be running. I could look that up, but again, my opponent's being patient enough here. And then Scizor gets a U-turn, but doesn't help us with the 2 steel types. So I'll go Infernape as a result. Not terribly surprising. I'm gonna go for Stealth Rocks right here. I'm probably eating a Scald, but I don't have to worry about a burn. Maybe I should be U-turning. I don't know. The problem is this team doesn't love Scald, right? It's literally all physical attackers. So Infernape's ironically one of the better ones we can deal with. It can't get burnt, blah, blah, blah. Again, Infernape's got some good matchups here, so I don't want to waste it and have it lose half its health on a Scald. But A, I don't know if they're clicking that. They probably are, but I don't know. But B, I just want to get these rocks up if I can. It's not essential, as I said. It's going to be resisted by most of their team. But just get them up, break the sturdy on Aggron, and then I can pivot out to a better matchup, which would... It's tough, because Breloom doesn't want to need a Scald either. I think I might go Dragonite there. It's got a Lumberry. It is only a 30% chance of a Scald burn, so I could just spin the dice. Oh, there we go. My opponent made me wait for a little while there. It's Trick Room. That's actually super obvious in retrospect. Makes total sense. I'm kind of embarrassed to pick up on that earlier. Now the Scalds, I knew it was coming. I could have swapped out to a Breloom and risked the burn stuff, all that. I just wasn't sure. I thought they might click something weird. I know they don't have teleport anymore, but I really myself second guessing it there. Now I can go to my Breloom and Spore. Yeah, I mean, who would they go to in this situation if I go to Breloom? Probably Cress. If I get a Spore off, I'm fine. I am still risking a Scald burn here, but all my mons get burnt by stuff. And Dragonite, I don't think now's the right time to send it in. So I am spinning the dice. Okay, there we go. Rolling the dice. I don't know why I keep saying spinning the dice. Now it's a difficult question. I can Swords Dance on a swap something like Cresselia, and then I can Bullet Seed them. Or I can Bullet Seed right away, which I think I'll do. Covers to stay in. Jirachi's the swap in. Interesting. I'm very curious what this Jirachi's running. It's always such a big question mark. It used to be pretty obvious that they're at least carrying Iron Head. And this thing, I bet, is Scarfed. That's very helpful for us. Let's go to Scizor. They might spread with like a Fire Punch or something, but no, they're going to U-turn out. So I think that's probably just a Scarf to help clean up for the rest of this team here. It's going to invite in Aggron. Interesting. Do we see a Rock Head here? I would kind of predict that. So I'm going to pivot out to my Lucario, some sort of Rock type move, I imagine. Yeah, okay, that misses, which sucks for them, but, you know, Rock sucks in general, as I broke down in my video yesterday. Now we get a pretty clean, close combat here. I don't know if you're banded or not, because if they're Earthquake, well, it's not stab for you either. I'm just wondering if we can get away with like some sort of Swords Dance. Slowbro's asleep, who'd be our biggest problem. Then we can kill everything else with the close combat. I think we'll probably see Jirachi come in next, actually, so I'll just take what's in front of me right now. They do go Slowbro. I'll totally set up if that's the case. That sleep on them with Breloom was a great trade in my opinion. And then we'll see. I mean, they could go to Cresselia. Jirachi's my bigger concern. They might come in right now. I'm gonna burn a turn with Slowbro. Actually, I guess they resist everything, don't they? So I'll have to be forced to extreme speed here. Scald burn in the discussion. There's only 40. I think they recover here. Kind of playing with fire here because they're going to wake up and Scald, or I think they're going to recover right now. They might Trick Room, but having priority is going to help us a little bit. They do Trick Room right off the rip. So this is a tough question for them because they have 2 great answers to extreme speed, or they could Scald me and do a ton of damage and threaten a burn. These are slower. That's a true 50-50 right now. So I can either close combat, which covers everything that they would go to right here, trying to beat an extreme speed, like one of these 3. I'd get a kill if they're trying to beat the extreme speed, or extreme speed just the mon in front of me and assume they don't swap. That's a really tough call. Lucario's really good for us, so I think I'll do this. Okay, pays off. That's huge. Huge play. They will go to one of these guys now. Well, definitely one of these extreme speed resists. I will probably take Infernape. Again, Infernape's fast close combat is so useful, but it doesn't really matter ultimately because it's outspeed by Jirachi and outspeeds all these mons, so it's functionally as fast as Lucario. It just can't swap moves. So I guess by that metric, it's not very useful. I could also go to Breloom. I'm gonna go to Breloom. Let's not overthink it, actually. I thought it would live. I totally thought it would live. I'm stunned at the cojones to click that. That's got to be banded for sure. I don't even know if Aqua Jet can kill yet. This thing's got pretty famously good defenses. I think it would probably kill Dragonite through multi-scale if it's doing that much damage. Breloom is very defensively weak, of course. But still, that was a resist. Anybody's going to live it. It's going to be Lucario here. I'll go for it. Why not? They miss again. That's really sucks. And they forfeit. Okay. Well, we're getting off okay here. Gonna with a lot of forfeits. Let's look up that damage though. I am curious. The double miss definitely sucked. They would have definitely added up to a kill at that point. But let's see. Aggron, Choice Band, Attack, Head Smash. Yeah, I mean, if they hit both, that would have definitely been awesome. But that's what happens when you run an 80% accurate move. Okay. Again, a really interesting team from our opponent. Zangoose is surprisingly interesting wall breaker in this metagame. In terms of my lead matchups, I don't like this one. I love this one, obviously. In terms of fake outs, guess I'm kind of worried about you. Infernape's better against Jirachi. If you see opponent Infernape, then I can trade rocks. I don't really see a matchup I don't like except for Donphan. And if I saw that, I would probably take the risk of my Breloom there. You see Medicham, which I didn't really give enough credit. This isn't an awesome one for us either. So I want to go for Stealth Rocks on a likely attack here. I'm going to Scizor because I think we'll probably see a fake out if anything right now. A Psycho Cut instead. Okay, so that swap works out pretty nicely for us. Does so much damage. I guess that's pure power coming in there. I'm just thinking if they should have High Jump Kick, and that was a resist, and High Jump Kick is way stronger than Psycho Cut. I think we'd probably die if they click High Jump Kick right now. I'm going to just do this. At least we trade. Yeah, I feel pretty confident that was the right play for us. One of the only times I've run across a Medicham as a lead matchup that didn't fake out, to be honest. I totally stand by my decision. Okay, let's go to you. I like Breloom's matchup versus nearly everything after this too. Don't love it versus Jirachi. If they come out right now, it'll be kind of threatening. If they go to Infernape, I'll probably take the Spore. Especially because they might get cocky and U-turn here. You never know. Yep, that seems to be banded too. No, it's hard to say. I have a hard time kind of head calcing Breloom's damage because it's just so fragile. But that kind of strikes me as that stat. I'll Swords Dance here. Because Jirachi would kind of suck. But nope, they stay in. They burn a Sleep Turn. That's an easy Bullet Seed. And then whoever can take a Bullet Seed definitely can't take the Mach Punch that comes afterwards. That's awesome for us. We'll probably net a kill here. The Breloom and Spore, really good. I think the Toxic Heal sets are still the most robust and easy to use and put in work every game, and they help you with a bulky offense. But man, this thing can dish out some damage. Can dish out some big hits. Rachi comes in right now, and I got Lucario for Walrein. Donphan, I would love to keep Breloom, but it is asleep still, so it's not an immediate threat. It's not like Donphan's like a game record to begin with anyways. And Infernape, I don't care. So yeah, I'm okay going for this here. We don't even know if the Jirachi can kill me. They can't. Awesome. I think Breloom might just win this. They could go to Infernape right now. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't swap out afraid of like a Zen Headbutt. If anything, I probably would have gone to Dragonite there and taken a lot of damage. Infernape's going to take a huge hit here too. And Lucario should be able to clean up as a result. It was a Sash Infernape. Okay. So I was wrong. Same set that we're running. And who do we trust to win this? That's not really much of a question then. You don't get Water Absorb, do you? Ice Body and Thick Fat. Interesting. Oh, right. I knew about Ice Body because it's kind of a weird stall set. I used to love Walrein back in the day. That is the gutsiest rocks I've seen in my life. That is so funny. It's like, you know what this situation needs right now is some stealth rocks. Let's get them up. I'm going on a sweep right now with my Infernape staring down into Azumarill. They must have just thought there's no way I'm getting an attack off. I'm just like, whatever, stealth rocks. That's so funny. Oh man, there is a lot of banded Azumarill to be fair. Oh, they get the sturdy off. Okay, do we flinch? See, if they clicked Earthquake, they would have been fine. That's crazy. That's so crazy. I forget about Sturdy there too. That'll be Walrein, but unless it's an exceptionally fast Walrein, we'll get the kill right here. Or we miss, you never know. But even still, I'd be covered with my own Infernape and 2 extreme speed users. Nice. GG to them. Nice quick one. Love to see it. Yeah, it's a fun team. I'm going to throw the Poke Paste in the description. It's kind of buried in the sample teams forum, but it's a fun one. It's just an easy HO to learn a tier with. Kind of learn some in and out matchups just fine. especially for someone who, that's a hard thing I always struggle with, is I think that it's so important as you learn the game to learn your matchups and more specifically learn your lead matchups. But that can be hard. Like going through everything one by one is difficult, and kind of like I did earlier with the Metacham, you can screw it up still, right? And that's fine. That's part of the learning process. But with this case, if you as a newcomer just go, okay, I'm just gonna look at the team and say which of these two Sashers is the better lead, I'm okay with that. I think it's still better even on an HO team to look and see if there's any glaring like, holy crap, Dragonite sets up against anybody and wins. That's not the case here, but I think it's still useful. But yeah, as a newcomer, just looking at from this perspective can be useful too. At this point, I just want to choose somebody that doesn't auto lose to Latios. Azumarill, I don't love it versus these two. Even this bottom row, but if I'm being honest, I don't think we're getting the bottom row. I think we'll see one of these top three either try to start blasting right away with one of their psychic types. I think Glycer's a terrible lead because you don't have your Toxic Orb up yet and just invites a lot of shenanigans that you don't want to see. You just want to get your guaranteed poison heal off, but whatever. It's a common lead, whether I like it or not. So Azumarill's great versus the top layer. It's the bottom layer it doesn't love as much. If it was one of these three, I'd want a Breloom or an Infernape instead for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if they lead Latios too because they're running Sleep Talk a lot just because of how good Spore Breloom is. Scissor's a bit of a mid ground. I can U-turn on everything. I can beat the Clef. The Clef is kind of scaring me. I'm just gonna go with my gut. You know, it might not pan out, but I'm gonna go with my gut. Gut pays off beautifully. Let's play rough. Oh my god, that Specs Thunderbolt actually Okos, huh? Forgot these things are running that nowadays. That's a big L. Okay, so we're gonna have to go Breloom. I will Spore. It could still be Sleep Talk. I think it's unlikely if they're running Thunderbolt as coverage. If you're running Thunderbolt as coverage, that means you're saying goodbye to any combination of Sleep Talk. I'm okay with that. But Surf, Psychic, Draco Meteor, I'd probably prefer Dragon Pulse to Thunderbolt, but that's in previous metagames I'm talking about, of course. So not fair for me to judge. I'll go for the Bullet Seed. Just gonna scout at the set. That looks Fizz-Def to me. I'm not positive though. We'll go to Lucario here, risking a Flamethrower though, which I don't love. We get bailed out, luckily. That's awesome. I kind of want to do something to beat the Tentacruel swap. Tentacruel is actually pretty tough for us in general, for being honest. Let's go to... What do they do it from a Dragonite +1? Scissor's too healthy still. Fable's probably still a little bit too healthy. I wager it's unaware. We don't know for sure yet. It's harder to tell, you know, in SSOU, if it had leftovers, it was guaranteed Magic Guard, but that's of course not the case anymore. They could also go Glysaur, of course. I think they're going to their Tentacruel here, in which case I guess the play's Breloom. They can also stay in. I don't know what my opponent's like. Okay, I'm gonna Meteor Mash just to get a read from my opponent. Glysaur was a fine play too. I knew that was a possibility. Breloom as a double switch would work great if that's the case. I should have just pulled the trigger there. The only way that Breloom wasn't good is if they stayed in, which, again, low ladder. I don't have a read on my opponent yet. That's not a terrible decision in any case. I think we will see a Latios switch here, but I'm going to Bullet Seed, A, because it's fine chip regardless, but B, because they might have U-turn. That is the case. Or they could have Acrobatics. That happens sometimes. They go for Stealth Rocks. Fine by me. I wonder if they Roost here. There's no way they have U-turn. So is there a play that I can do that can beat the Glysaur coming in? I mean, they could have U-turn, but I don't think it's likely. And beats the Latios coming in. Scizor, no. Dragonite, definitely no. I will Swords Dance playing for a Roost. It's a bit of a... Okay, they stay in. Okay, we get that right. That's awesome. So even if they go to Breloom right now, they're taking a good bit of chip. Love that. We could see Scizor too, but after take a bit of Bullet Seed damage, we'll be in an okay spot to beat them with a Mach Punch. I actually don't really like this comp for us at all. Clefable's scaring me. Okay, they'll probably sack it here. We need a 3-hit and we're fine. Or stay asleep. Okay, we'll take it. So we can Spore something else now, which is really great. Anyways, I don't love the matchups versus us versus the opponent here in general. Especially with that Azumarill going out rather early. Don't love any of that. But yeah, I'll go for the Spore here. This is why I think you keep a Spore Mon. I mean, you don't even need a Sleep Talker per se, but you have to just accept early on in the game that like you have a Sleep Sack. Okay, we're faster than you, so we get to kill on Scizor too. That should definitely be one of their psychic types here. They don't have to worry about my Focus Sash anymore. I will go to Scizor. It's definitely not built to handle Latios long term, but it'll take one fine. No, it won't. I don't know where I had that confidence from. They're not swapping much, so yeah, I'll just take this damage here. Okay, we kind of got ourselves into a good position by them being really aggressive. That's good news. Lucario seems like a slam dunk right now. Glysaur's still really healthy. If I get to +2, it's still not an Oko on it. So Glysaur is really scary. I would need to get up rocks to beat them. But I have to go Lucario right now. Question is, would make a double switch against the Glysaur that's coming up. Tricky call. The Glysaur's getting really, really scary for me now, honestly. Breloom's low. Lucario, again, we learned the Meteor Mash only does 40% to it, but the Swords Dance that gets up to 80%, but still not great. Let's Swords Dance. I don't know. I think I'll probably take the 80% just because I don't know what else I'm going to do here. Dragonite's coming in without multi-scale as long as those Stealth Rocks are up. Not what you want to see. They did have U-turn. Stunning. Surprising for multiple reasons. A, how they played it. B, given what the set we've seen so far. Oh, I hope you don't have Sash. Yes. Oh my god. My opponent screwed this up so badly here. But also they didn't Earthquake us earlier. That's insane. Okay, Dragonite has a good chance to carry us home now. Breloom's looking excellent. So you're U-turn and Earthquake only. If I get to +1, I'm pretty much guaranteed to win, actually. Okay, geez, that should not have been as close as it was, but we get away okay. Woo! What a W. Let's drop a bird up for that. Bird up. They roost on us, which, like, fair enough. I don't want to lock an Outrage, but also, like, what the hell are you going to do against us here? I'll take the Earthquake then. That's a good game, and that's the end of a live there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Little undefeated streak right there. That doesn't hurt. I'll extreme speed just because why not? You can't make me lock an Outrage if I don't want to. You're the boss of me. And end it right there. Catch you guys later. Glad you guys liked the tier list video. I honestly, those videos are fun to make. I laughed when I made that video because I said it was a quick little tier list video and it ended up being 50 minutes, which is just funny objectively. But also, like, I consider that easy to make because just sit down for 50 minutes and make the video that I'm done. That's just an easy breezy video for me. So I make more of those more often. Like maybe like I'll make a video on like the best status moves in Pokemon, like Nuzzle versus Spore versus Stun Spore and Will-O-Wisp and stuff like that. I think that could be a really fun video. But anyways, stay tuned for that. Also, oh, I should mention, I'm not sure if many people are watching the video at this point anymore, but I got a tournament I'm hosting with the Pokeland group chat who hosts our tournaments. They're actually advertising it right now. $20 grand prize. It's hosted tomorrow at 9 p.m. GMT +1 at my time, which is Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be 4 p.m. So I'll be on my tournament. $20 prize to first place. Standard stuff. To join, all you have to do is go to play.pokemonshowdown.com/Pokeland. Press the big enter button that will be there shortly before the tournament starts at 4. But yeah, just go to you can even go to it right now, get all the information right here. It is a French language room, but that's just because they're a European server and they're kind enough to host us there. But yeah, that's enough sort of verbal diarrhea for me there. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you next time.